Just want to know, does Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder give full credit if he beats Luis Ortiz? Is this a credible win for Deontay Wilder? This your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the Boxing Clinic and more. Y'all know we gonna get it in early in the morning. And while other channels tapering off at the end of the year, man, we still finishing strong and doing what we does. About to drop the announcement to the next award after this video, the event of the year. And we just posted the question, the award finalists for the knockout of the year, and watch that video, and I'll leave a link in the description where you can vote at. But Al Bernstein said in the article, says nobody knows how old Luis Ortiz really is, but he's Wilder's most credible and best opponent, and most people will believe so. And I hear a lot of people on the page saying that Deontay Wilder ain't fought nobody. Like Anthony Joshua's fought a list of who's who, and I don't care if Wilder got almost 40 fights, whatever it is. Stop acting like Anthony Joshua, beat a prime, George Foreman, prime Muhammad Ali. He beat an old Vladimir Klitschko off a 16-month layoff who lost to Tyson Fury, period. Even if Fury cheated or whatever it was, he lost. So at the end of the day, that ain't the greatest win in history. I mean, Dylan White, Charles Martin, Takam, who cares? Same fucking level as Deontay Wilder other than the Klitschko win. The Klitschko put him a notch above. Put him a notch above Wilder. But let's not act like Wilder hasn't tried to make fights happen. He tried to make the Povetkin fight happen. He was juicing, he was scared, and he ain't looking the same. We just dropped the video on what the Russian Olympic trainer said. He looked whack. Tried to fight Luis Ortiz before, and then people started to curve their opinion on the Wilder and Ortiz thing. Oh, Ortiz is old and all of this stuff. So let's get it, let's get it on wax. Let's get it on paper. Put it in the comment. We come back whenever they do fight, and we can come back and look. Does Deontay Wilder get full credit for beating Luis Ortiz? Is zero credit or is full credit? I don't want to hear a partial answer. Does this guy get full credit for beating Ortiz? And in my mind, I'm not 100% sure he could beat Luis Ortiz. Now, mind it, I didn't see Luis Ortiz last fight. I had to work or whatever. I didn't see it, and I didn't see it here. He looked bad, but I knew it was an easy fight. I knew when that fight was made as quickly as it was, when he could beat the case with the WBC for the steroid allegations, I knew it was going to be a lead up to a Deontay Wilder fight. Wilder had no other place to go because, last time I heard Charles Martin was trying to fight Dominic Brazil, and, he didn't want to go over there and fight Dylan White for the money that was offering for whatever reason without the Anthony Joshua fight being in the deal. But, Ortiz is a good fighter. At the end of the day, you can say whatever you want to say about Ortiz, but this is the same Luis Ortiz that Anthony Joshua ran from. And the WBA made the decision off the strength of, protecting Anthony Joshua away from the Luis Ortiz. Now, people say, oh, what would the WBA care about if Ortiz beat Joshua, whatever the fact it was, that they didn't even do an investigation. They just suspended him. Because I understand he was a repeat offender. I'll get into that in a minute. It was the fact that, they get percentages out of each fight, purse. Each sanctioned belt body, and Joshua brings a lot of money to the table. You know what I mean? So, going from, if Luis Ortiz beat Joshua, going to Ortiz purses and fights would have been pitiful. It would have been detrimental to the WBA. So that's what it was. Now, Ortiz did test positive versus Latif Coyote. That's a fact. Then he was supposed to enlist into self-random drug testing. It was fishy when he didn't show up to the Wilder press conference, and it was weeks after the hurricane that hit. They said he was trying to flush the steroids out of the system, according to Deontay Wilder. He didn't believe it. Wilder wanted to go through the fight, even though he was tested positive on steroids. Somehow, he was cleared for the pain, for the heart, medical, high blood pressure, whatever he had. So now we here, I just want to know, is it credible? And for me, I guess it would be a credible win. I go all the way in on it for the simple fact that it's the best opponent he fight. And I think Ortiz, if he can bring his A game, can beat Deontay Wilder. But Wilder is looking like he's on a different level. It's starting to look like he's mesh. Starting to look like he knows what he's doing. Like he's improving. Now, the Gerald Washington fight was a huge step back for him earlier this year. But he hadn't had a layoff that long. He was coming off a hand and a bicep injury or some shit like that. So, I understand the layoff. But I was expecting big things from him fighting Luis Ortiz. I was going to slightly favor Luis Ortiz for the November 4th bout they had in the Brooklyn Barclays Center. Right now with the inactivity, I'm right down the middle. I had to break down some film and see where I'm at. But Ortiz is one of the few heavyweights that can disarm another fighter and do some things to take away power, take away one hand and box and move. And that's why I thought he would give Joshua and Wilder a little bit of problem, because he had an understanding and he had probably the highest IQ out the heavyweights, and he has an understanding how to take away a dude's best asset, you know. But he is a one-handed fighter himself. He wasn't looking good before the layoff, so who knows? I just want to know, does Wilder get credit, full credit, or no credit for fighting Ortiz?